Sweet, sweet Katie Boo. Hey girl, how be you? It's late. It's man, I think it's like 12:30, maybe even 1 o'clock. And I'm going to bed. So, like I said, I kind of get into the swing of things, and not gonna lie, I bought some chicken wings today because I was in the mood. And then I have my system, for Monday, my 7-day thing. So today's Friday, so it's like I'll just kind of do my thing, and then tomorrow, I'm thawing out some meat to make meat and vegetables and whatnot, and then just eat sensible for the rest of the weekend, and then for the next 2 weeks start my regimen or whatever it's called. Is that the right word? There's like regiment, I think, is like a military thing, but regimen, not the T, is like routine. Another word for routine. Again, that whole English language shit. But with that, I wanted to go ahead and buy a pop. Now, I didn't buy a case of pop, but I bought one of those 20-ounce, deals. And I haven't had caffeine, in like 2 weeks, because that's part of my regimen. Or sugar, I mean, no candy bars, no cereal, no instant oatmeal, because it's got sugar and shit in it. But had to sniff my finger real quick. I was itching under my balls for like basically the whole time I was talking, so like for the last 2 minutes. I was just wondering, if it smelled sweaty, that under balls sweaty smell. But I showered, this evening, so we're good. Not that I have like a sweaty ball problem, but anyway. And though, yeah, 20 ounces. So, that zingered me to the fucking moon. So, whoo, I've been listening to YouTube videos and making all them YouTube videos. I was all spurred out. Made another one and then another one about the other shit, and just kind of had just kind of a stupid YouTube video evening. Like I said, I'm not well spoken. I don't put my thoughts into words very well. I'm not articulate, I just sort of ramble things off, Oh, I forgot to mention this. I forgot to mention that. But anyway, it's late. But this won't really last. This is just like I said. I had that pop, and cherry Pepsi. That's kind of my drink of choice. I prefer that over regular Pepsi. And I guess that's kind of my favorite pop. I like cherry Coke. I like vanilla Coke, They also have cherry vanilla. They had lime Pepsi for a while, but I knew it wouldn't last, and now you can't find it. I suppose I could make my own with regular Pepsi and, lime juice. It's probably, not the same as if I used a real lime. But obviously neither is lime Pepsi. But It might be maybe something to look into, but like I said, a person doesn't want to make a habit of drinking, pop. Um, and it's easy to, basically, I mean, pretty much if you can just not drink it at all, that's good. I mean, I guess if you want to like treat yourself and drink like 2 pops a week, because I'm me, right? So, a 12-ounce can, it's like, that's not enough for me, that plastic thermal mug with lots of ice. It's like, if I want to have me a nice beverage, while listening to YouTube videos, I need 2 12-ounce cans. Or 1 20-ounce will work, but whatever. I know. You bought 2 20-ounces, didn't you? I've been to gas stations before. They sell them 2 for $4. Yes, I bought 2. You know me so well. I can't fool you. But, well, that's just because I know that's how that works, stupid. I mean, I guess maybe you just bought one, but based on, your habits and, no. Chicken wings on Friday, was in the mood for a pop. I just bought 1 20-ounce. No. You bought 100 chicken wings, 500 fucking poppers, and, 50 fried zucchinis and 2 20-ounce pops. No alcohol, though. Anyway. And your logic is that you're going to pull off a miracle as if you've been fasting and dieting for 6 months in 2 weeks. Yeah, that is actually the plan. But the thing is, I can do it. I can pull it off. I mean, I might have to maybe extend it by a week, but yeah, you're right. But anyway, I have had my window open and my little fan on, for several hours, and basically like 6 hours. And it's not that cold outside, so I gotta open a lot. And I just have the fan on low. That way it's like a low. Sometimes the damn thing squeaks though. It's getting kind of old. And it's like I don't notice it, but I'll pick it up when I listen to the audio presentation and shit. And then when I sleep, I turn my ceiling fan on. But anyway, it's kind of, the moonlit, night tonight. And this happens all the time when it's like light outside from the moon. It looks like it's foggy and or snowy outside my window, and it's not. It's an optical illusion. But it just made me think of you and, snuggling up witches and cuddling and just, sweet, sweet slumber, sharing the same bed and, our life together and, starting a family and making babies and all that stuff. And it just got me thinking about you. So. And your dog, and her sweaters and how she'll take to the newborn infant, the newborn infant will be kind of petting her, We might have to tell her, in my example, we'll say she's a little girl, so it's not Ollie in my example, it's whatever you want to name the girl. You want to name her after your grandmother or something like that. Although I wouldn't recommend that because, your grandmother's name was probably something like Blanche, or Aubrey, or some shit like that. Although Aubrey Plaza, who kind of looks like you, I'm just thinking of that movie, Dirty Grandpa or whatever. Shit. You guys want to hang out? Maybe party some babies up? That's just how she is, she's got that dry sense of humor, She was married, and unfortunately, her husband died. I guess, you know, so that's a tragic thing. She's just sort of kind of known for being this sour, dry, sarcastic, you know, but which I like, and you know, she's very attractive. And she kind of looks like you a little bit, you know. But like they say, when you're in love with somebody, everything reminds you of them. So that would make sense. But oh shit! Oh, I don't know of any other movies that she's in. But um, you know, so the little baby, you know, might, you know, get a little rough with grabbing, you know, Cindy's ears or something. We'll have to be like, no, gentle, you know, stuff like that. And Cindy will, you know, crawl up next to her, and little baby will give her a hug, you know, and this, that, and the other. Yep. So it's very pretty, you know. Like I said, it looks like it's like this, you know, it has that like bluish glow. You know how the landscape gets when it's a full moon and it's dark. And the snow also has like a quieting effect. And then, of course, if you're walking on the snow, fresh snow, it has that nice crunch, you know, sound. It's very pleasant, you know. And it's too bad I'm just a troll. I don't do shit like that, and it's all complete and utter fucking bullshit, you know, because we could really make some memories, and we could really have some experiences together. But, oh well. Good night, sweet, sweet girl. I'm thinking about you.